Hello, welcome back to the Fish Locker Workshop. I'm going to take some time really quickly now to explain to you how I make my shark chum. Now it's not complicated at all. I've been shark fishing maybe about 9 or 10 years. I've been making my own chum for 6 or 7 years. And the way that I started making it was on my sharking charters. I started asking questions to the skippers, questions to the other anglers, asking questions on sharking groups online. It's not complicated at all. It's very simple. Some people will have their own little secret recipes and little additives that they like putting into them. This is mine. I like to go out and catch some fresh fish, like some mackerel, some pilchard, some herring, some whiting, anything like that. And unfortunately, recently, there hasn't been an awful lot of fish around in numbers. So all I've been doing is, every time I've been going out and catching half a dozen, sticking them in a packet, sticking them in a freezer. The same way being if I've been out fishing on the shore or on the boat and there's any bait left over, like any bluey, any mackerel, any squid, anything like that. If there's any left over and it won't refreeze to be used again, goes in a little packet, goes in the freezer. So this chum you'll see me make today, it's got all sorts in it. It's got scad, mackerel, whiting, pouting, sand eels, squid, bluey. It's got bits of all sorts. That will all work fine because it's all fishy stuff that sharks will eat. And I just use normal wheat bran. Now I got mine from my farmers merchants down the road. It's only cheap stuff. It's 5 or 10 quid for a 10 kilo sack. And the fish oil. Some people don't even use fish oil in their chum. I like to use it in mine. Mine's just a generic stuff. I bought it online. If I can find the link, I'll put it in at the end of this. But you can buy the named stuff, like from companies like Ammo, things like that. Mine was bought in bulk online. Me and my friend went in and got it so we could share the postage. It works fine. This is the method, and this is the chum that I make, that I like, that I use, that I've caught sharks on. It might be different to what you like. This is just my opinion. I will walk you through it really simply now. Here we can see I've got a nice big tub to mix it all in. There's your bran already. That's just come out of my sack over there. These are all my big stuff. So I've got some frozen mackerel in there, some old bait in there, sand eels, mackerel, squid, scad, all sorts. And all the juice that's in there as well, that's perfect, that's no going. And all I do is I've rigged up, I actually bought this on, I think I've got it on Gumtree or something like that for 5 quid. Bought it off a local bloke. This is just a normal food hand mincer. Cut it into cubes, keep the heads and the tails separate, mince it through there into here, and then add my fish oil. It's as simple as that. There, I've taken my little bits of bait out so you can see I've got a bit of squid and a bit of scad and a bit of mackerel, and all I'm doing is you keep the head and the main fins out and stick those in another bucket. The main reason being is because just with this little hand mincer that I've got, it's not strong enough to go through the gill plates and things like that. So all I've been doing is just dice it all up into small pieces. You might notice I have got one glove on. That's because I have a cut on my palm and I don't want to get any of the fish juice into it. And then all we'll do is we'll put it in the mincer. So a piece at a time. If you can afford to get an electronic mincer, it'll save you a lot of time. But I don't make it enough to warrant it. I've minced up all the fish. Those are just the heads and the frames. The scad frames are a bit hard, so I didn't put them through. The heads, the tails and the scad frames have all been minced up, and that's what you end up with there, look. Minced fish. Now, there's a bit of bran at the bottom, and then there's fish, and I'm going to mix all that up, and then I'm going to add more bran to it. The reason I haven't just put all the bran in at once and then all the fish in at once is because I can't mix it all up. It's like when you're making a cake, you add the ingredients a bit at a time and mix it all in. Mix all that up, then add some more bran. This is all the juice and everything that was left over. Don't throw that away, that's perfect. You're going to add all that to the bran afterwards. So I'm just going to take my little scoop and I'm going to start mixing. That's it, all mixed in, look. You can see I've mixed all the bran in. You have to keep turning it over so you don't end up with a load of bran that's dry at the bottom and just fish on the top. It needs to all be mixed in. Now I'm going to add some of the juice and the same amount again as bran. So it's pretty much 1 part fish, 2 parts bran. I've added some of the extra bran. I've added all the rest of the juice from in the bucket that's off all the carcasses, and now I'm going to start adding the oil. It's just generic fish oil, and I've marked on there when I started I'm going to be adding about 2.5 litres to this. It's up to you how much you want to add. I think that's about enough. And all you want to keep doing is you mix it and then add a little bit more, and then you mix it and add a little bit more. You see how some of it's still a bit powdery. You want to mix it all in so there's none of that powdery left. And all you do is just add a little bit at a time. It's all mixed in now, you can see. You can see all the bits of fish, the little bits of squid, there's all sorts in there, you can see. All the bran's all mixed in so there's no dry bits. It's not too wet, but it's still got plenty to soak. Make sure that you turn it up so it's all properly mixed up. So you don't end up with like all fish in one corner and all bran in the other, because when you come to turn it out, all I'm going to do now is I've got a load of tubs. I'm going to split this batch in half and I'm going to freeze half of it, and I'm going to keep half fresh for when I go sharking in the next couple of days. Here I've split the batch into 2. That's the fresh stuff that's going to go with me. I like these containers. It's a good size. It's if the container's too shallow, it thaws out too quickly, so you end up it gets washed out. These hold a good amount, fits perfectly inside of an onion sack. That's 1 batch for a sharking trip. There's another sharking trip there. And all I do is I'll just stick a lid on these and just box them in my freezer. There, look, it's all perfect and ready to go. There you can see the chum slick leaving the bags. And I don't know if you can see properly, but it creates like a shiny, like a road. You can just see it running up in the distance there. There's my near float, there's my further float. And as we're drifting in that direction, and the chum slick goes in that direction there, any sharks that come into the slick from either side, they'll come in and then just hone in on the boat.